This is your WLAK Daily News Roundup for Lake Air, 107.5 FM and 1260 AM in Amory.
Civic Media News. I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. A crash that injured 8 children in southeast Wisconsin yesterday was caused by a driver running a stop sign. Ozaukee County deputies say the impact knocked the Random Lake school bus over. 36 kids were on the bus. Some of them got bruises, concussions, and even broken bones. The SUV driver was ticketed. Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s name will stay on November ballots in Wisconsin. A judge in Madison yesterday denied a request from the Kennedy campaign to take his name off. Kennedy is out of the race and endorsing Donald Trump. Kennedy's lawyer says he plans to appeal. Enrollment at the universities of Wisconsin is up by a little more than 1,000 students. System President Jay Rothman says that's despite some challenges like the bumpy rollout of a new financial aid form and not enough money for the Wisconsin Tuition Promise program. More official enrollment counts are expected in a couple of weeks. A program that helps small Wisconsin farmers and hunger relief efforts is marking its second anniversary. The Local Food Purchase Assistance Program gives grants to farmers who set aside some of their fresh produce for food pantries.
This guaranteed income has allowed farms to invest in their operations and do things that they otherwise wouldn't be able to do.
The program's Forrest Humphrey says the program allows hunger nonprofits to buy in bulk and cut down on transportation, which reduces their carbon footprint. A new survey says Wisconsin's child care centers need more staff. The State Department of Children and Families research shows about 60% of providers have staff shortages. Providers would be able to serve as many as 33,000 more kids if they were at full capacity. 13% of Wisconsin children live in poverty. That's according to the Annie E. Casey Foundation. Lauren Relaford of the Children's Defense Fund says poverty is a toxic stress.
Children see their parents being stressed, and they take that on too. And so why are we allowing these children to grow up without the necessary resources they need?
Efforts to expand the federal child tax credit stalled recently in the U.S. Senate. Relaford says it could have lifted 400,000 children out of poverty nationwide. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Now, here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly. The Duluth Public Library hosted an event through its Play and Learn for Family, Friend, and Neighbor Caregivers program on Monday. The program aims to connect child care providers in the area to help them access more resources and discuss the struggles the industry is facing. Everyone who attends the program events also receives free books, supplies, and snacks to take some of the financial burden of child care off them. The program is open to both professional child care providers and family members just trying to help out. Duluth golfers hit the course for Ridgeview Country Club's September Slam on Monday. The event aimed to raise funds for downtown Duluth to keep their outreach specialist after losing the grant funding they needed to pay for the position. The outreach specialist travels the city each week connecting residents with the resources and support they need to live their healthiest and most productive lives. Local businesses sponsored each hole of the course on Monday. Downtown Duluth is still looking for more community support. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers visited the University of Wisconsin-Superior on Monday. Governor Evers used the visit to welcome students back to the campus and promote his plans to increase funding for state colleges and universities. His plan is to increase funding by $850 million in his 2-year budget. The proposed increase was made in response to the closure of a number of branch campuses, layoffs, and funding shifts. State Republicans are expected to fight the increase as they have in the past. The new owner of the former Anderson Furniture building in Duluth has big plans for its future. Deborah Rochelle and her son are hoping to turn the building into a kind of mini mall with restaurants and shops on the ground floor and short-term rental units on the top 3 floors. Plans for the future of the building are still in the early stages, and construction on anything wouldn't start until 2025. In the meantime, Deborah is looking for possible future tenants in the building so they can hit the ground running after construction. The City of Superior is hosting a sticker design contest for the November 5th election. According to city officials, the contest will be open to any resident under the age of 18. The hope is the contest will provide both a fun activity for young people in the area while also getting them engaged and excited to participate in the democratic process. Submissions must be sent in by September 27th and can be submitted to the Superior Clerk's Office or Superior Public Library. The design must be 2 inches and say, "I voted" on it. The Biden administration has taken steps to lift some Endangered Species Act protections for gray wolves in the country. Gray wolves have proven especially troublesome in the northern Wisconsin region in recent years, as residents call for more strict population control goals amid concerns for their livestock. President Biden asked an appeals court to revive a Trump-era rule that would open the door for the hunting of gray wolves in the region. Protections for the wolves will remain in place pending the court decision. Minnesota Governor and Democratic Vice Presidential nominee Tim Walz visited the University of Wisconsin-Superior on Saturday. Governor Walz focused his speech on things like taxes, affordable housing, and reproductive health care as he looked to solidify support for the Democratic ticket in the key swing state. He also leaned into his Midwestern roots, reiterating his belief that everybody deserves to have that Midwestern hospitality shown to them and that they have a right to be represented fairly no matter their party affiliation. New medical students at the University of Minnesota Duluth will be able to complete all 4 years of their training at the school starting next year. Officials say the university is seeking state funding to expand and establish a new academic health center in the city's medical district. Ascensia Health and Aspirus St. Luke's have both offered proposed sites for the new building. As they await funding to make the plans for the building, university officials have already started to transition the medical school program from 2 years to 4 years. And that's what you need to know. For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly.
The Brewers can clinch a playoff spot today. Hi, I'm Jimmy Kusko with sports, filling in for Mike Lemons. The Brewers got 2 home runs from Willie Adames yesterday and took down the Philadelphia Phillies 6-2. With the win, the Brewers can now clinch a division title and a playoff berth today with a win and a Chicago Cubs loss. Milwaukee gets the Phillies again this afternoon in Game 2 of a 7-game homestand that also includes Arizona. Quarterbacks in the state of Wisconsin have had some misfortune this fall. Badgers quarterback Tyler Van Dyke will miss the rest of the season after tearing his ACL in Saturday's loss to Alabama. Braden Locke will take over behind center for Wisconsin. The Badgers are off until a week from Saturday when they take on USC. The injury bug got the Packers last week when Jordan Love was hurt late in the season opening loss to the Eagles. He also missed Sunday's game against the Colts. Coach Matt LaFleur said that his return will strictly be a medical decision and that Love can play even without practicing this week, although LaFleur said he'd prefer Love get in some work. Filling in for Mike Clemens, I'm Jimmy Kuska with Civic Media Sports.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. The box office is looking strong so far heading into fall. Beetlejuice stayed in the top spot for the second week in a row, taking in almost $52 million this past weekend. The Michael Keaton-led sequel has now taken in $188 million domestically and $264 million worldwide. Newcomer Speak No Evil came in second place with over $11 million. The well-reviewed thriller starring James McAvoy had a pretty good opening weekend, considering you could also stream it at home. In third place is the resilient Deadpool and Wolverine, which brought in just over $5 million in week number 8 of its release. In fourth place was right-wing commentator Matt Walsh's Am I Racist?, which took in a little over $4 million. And in fifth place was the Ronald Reagan biopic Reagan, starring Dennis Quaid, which took in a little over $2 million. One box office casualty from the weekend would be David Bautista's The Killer's Game, which was a box office bust. Lots of good movies still on the way this fall, so stay tuned. The 76th Annual Emmy Awards are in the books. Despite The Bear receiving the most ever Emmy nominations for a comedy series in a single year at 23, Hacks won the Emmy for Best Comedy Series. Shogun had 25 Emmys and 1 Best Drama, as well as Best Lead Actor and Actress. The show took home 18 Emmys in its first season. That's a record for a single year. This is the second time the Emmys have been held in 2024, as the 75th annual ceremony was held in January due to the writers and actors strikes. Hacks winning Outstanding Comedy Series over The Bear was not really an upset, but was a surprise. Lead actress in the show, Jean Smart, won Best Actress in a Comedy Series, and the show also won the Emmy for Best Comedy Writing. Speaking of comedy, taking home the Emmy for Outstanding Talk Series was The Daily Show, and in the scripted variety series, it was Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. If you haven't checked it out, it's an absolute must. Brilliant show. Could Ewan McGregor play Obi-Wan Kenobi again? It seems the Force is still with him. After a string of canceled Star Wars shows in the last few years, the franchise is rethinking bringing back McGregor to play Kenobi, and McGregor says he's game. McGregor started playing Kenobi in 1999 in The Phantom Menace and played the character in the 6-episode series Obi-Wan Kenobi on Disney+. The network has not given a definitive answer yet on whether or not the series will return for a second season. McGregor says there are still Obi-Wan stories to be told. Well, there is one Goonie who is willing to say die, and her name is Martha Plimpton. Addressing rumors of a Goonies sequel, Plimpton posted on Instagram that there is no script, Spielberg is not involved, and there is no one from the original cast attached. But Goonies apparently stick together. Corey Feldman backs his fellow castmate, confirming on the artist formerly known as Twitter that he has not heard a peep about a sequel. Buzzkill. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
With your forecast, I'm Corey Hartman. For today, mostly sunny with a high in the mid-80s. South winds at about 5 to 10. Clear tonight, low around 60. Sunshine and 83 for Wednesday. Wednesday night, partly cloudy, a low of 60 degrees. Slight chance of a shower Thursday with a high near 83.
Right now, it's 68.
That's your WLAK Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at lakeair.radio.